your stuff is so wild. Like, it's so avant-garde, so strange. It's like, how do you know something works, and how do you know you're like, that's it?
I mean, I have to find it funny.
Yeah.
You know, I have to find or be like fixated on the idea in a sincere way. Like, it can't be kind of reverse engineered. You know, it's like, it has to be something that I genuinely find funny. But then it also has to have this kind of like ring of like, and this feels so pretentious, but like, for lack of a less pretentious word, poetry.
What I'm getting is, you're a poet.
No.
Your words. I'm gonna echo back what I'm hearing.
No, this is the lead clip.
I'm gonna echo back what I'm hearing. I'm a poet. I'm a singer. I'm a poet. I'm an artist. But I'm also a man.
Oh no.
That's what I'm
With
hearing.
needs.
When I was first introduced to you personally, it was because you and I both worked on Jacqueline Novak's show.
Yes.
I was like behind the scenes a little bit early on, and then you directed the show beautifully.
Thank you.
Get on your knees. And it's like beautifully directed. And Jacqueline, I remember being like, her way of describing you was, John is very serious about craft.
You wouldn't tell. You couldn't tell.
So I love your special. One of my favorite parts of the special is the multiple times that you put a spotlight on your parents. One of the times you say, I love anal or something.
Yeah.
And then you go hard spotlight on your parents.
Yeah.
How much do they know and how much don't they know?
I mean, there was like this beautiful moment in 2015, maybe 2016, when I did that to them for the first time. And they had no idea
This
what was
beautiful moment.
They were truly like, I knew where their tickets were. It was at Joe's Pub, and we had the most like clean shaft of white light on them. And they were totally shocked. And it was like the most transcendent moment of my life. And
They must love your comedy then.
they do.
Okay.
They do. It's really, really cool. It's really sweet. My parents are ministers
Yes.
and Presbyterian ministers, and then I kept doing that to them like once a year, like at the Bell House and stuff. And so they knew it was coming, but I do think just like the cameras, the energy in the crowd, it being a taping, like their response, like them hunching over is like completely genuine, you know? And I think it was a thrill for them. I would like to think it was.
Aw.
It might also be considered elder abuse in some circles, but they love it.
Did you come up Presbyterian?
Yeah, I went to Presbyterian church every Sunday till I was 18 years old. I went to this place and did like youth conferences, and I sang the songs.
Yeah.
That was like the most meaningful thing for me. And by meaningful, I just mean I loved singing.
Aw.
Like, it wasn't like the only thing I remember from church.
That's how
is
they get you, by the way.
Literally. I'm not kidding. It's like sensual pleasures like singing. But I stood next to my mom, and she like harmonized. She was such an incredible like alto. And that honestly is why I like music. It's like from church.
You and Beyonce.
Yes. Well, we have that in common.
Oh, and also your Instagram handle.
Yes.
Beyonce.
Yes.
No, but it's like,
Houston is similar to Nashville.
is it?
Yeah, I do feel actually a kinship with Beyonce, and like it's kind. Sorry to people who love Houston and Nashville, but they're kind of like soulless cities.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Shots fired.
Yeah, sorry.
On 2 cities.
Like there are obviously great things about both, but like they're a little like corporate.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's in me and Beyonce, like high achieving, like type A.
That's in me and Beyonce.
Yeah.
People always say that about you and Beyonce.
Always say. But I feel like Beyonce and I are both Tracy Flicks.
Oh,
You know,
interesting.
Like I really
You're looking at another one.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you have, on your Instagram, you have this video of you on local Nashville television and being asked about sex when you were like, I don't know, 14, 15. Yeah. And your answer, 14-year-old John Early is so earnest. And when I watched that, I'm like, that's the kid you're making fun of now on stage.
Yes, exactly.
How much are you doing an impression like of that kid?
I mean, he's like the reason that video is so funny and is also like literally still so painful for me to watch, even though I put it online, you know, it's like, it is, seeing myself trying to be such like a good little student, you know, and a good little boy is like so heartbreaking.
That's
to
the
me.
Tracy Flick. Yeah.
And I think that so much of the thing I'm doing on stage, some would argue too much, but so much of the thing, especially in the special, is, and especially with my parents, and being like kind of like, you know, fuck you, you know, like just being a little angry adolescent, like it is this very delayed rebellion. Because I mean, there's video proof in that news clip. It's like that I was not, I was completely buttoned up, and you know.
Yeah, so was I. I was just full rule follower, student government.
I mean, I remember telling, like, when my friends would like want to like try drinking, I'd be like, we don't need that. I'd be like, we love pop culture. We love watching movies. Like, I don't need that. Oh my God. Like, it was like, you know, and thank God in some ways, but I'm also
thank God
like,
for God is the operative word. Thank you for
clearly. I keep bringing it back, but yeah.
But yeah. In some ways, it's like you're so earnest as a kid, and we have video proof of it. And then at a certain point, was there an inflection point where you're like, I'm going fully ironic, and I'm going the other way with it?
Definitely. I mean, that's once I started doing comedy, it just was this opportunity to kind of correct the course a little bit.
Yeah.
But I have to say, like, the reason why this special is particularly special to me, I think it is because there was like finally a synthesis of like the incredibly earnest part of me.
Yeah.
And then the little bitch, you know, the little punk who needs to,
Yeah.
And that is that it,
and a singer.
Yeah, which
beautiful
is the incredibly
singer.
earnest part of it.
Yeah.
The song choices help kind of cut through that, but like the singing itself is earnest, and it is just about wanting people to have a good time or wanting to move people in some way, you know. And like I've never filmed it because I was embarrassed by that desire.
This is a weird thing to say about a comedy special. I feel good afterwards.
Yeah. Totally. I mean, if that's the goal of also ending with I Feel Love. It's like, just like I wanted people to feel like they were like leaving a party or like the party was still going on, you know. And that's also why Bette Midler and Sandra Bernhard are like they're like my primary live performance influences, is because of their relationship to music, especially. And like they don't do comedy songs. They just kind of like, they'll be wild and hilarious, and then they just click into a totally sincere song, which is kind of old school.
Your stand-up, like my stand-up is very, in a certain way, straightforward, in the sense that I go to clubs, I try out 10 jokes, and I sandwich them in between 5 minutes that work at the front, 5 minutes that work in the back. And then eventually I have new jokes. And then I formulate those jokes into a thing.
Yeah.
Your stuff is so wild. Like, it's so avant-garde, so strange. It's like, how do you know something works, and how do you know you're like, that's it?
Well, you know, I guess in the kind of traditional sense, like I did go on tour before this, and it was very clear very quickly what worked and what didn't based on people's responses. But I also think just internally there does have to be a feeling of like, I mean, I have to find it funny.
Yeah.
You know, I have to find or be like fixated on the idea in a sincere way. Like it can't be kind of reverse engineered. You know, it's like it has to be something that I genuinely find funny. But then it also has to have this kind of like ring of like, and this feels so pretentious, but like, for lack of a less pretentious word, poetry. Like a little bit of like
oh.
Who are you even looking at?
Looking at the wall.
But like it did have a kind of like I was trying to sincerely underneath the silliness say something, communicate a kind of like despair about the state of the world, knowing that it was maybe a little abstract, but there was like something very sincere underneath it, and feeling that people were, that I didn't have to explain it, that I could just kind of like drop it and people understood what was underneath it, and that part of the joy of it and what was funny was that it was abstract, and I was just going like, you know, like it's very vague what I'm saying, but that was
what I'm getting is you're a poet.
No.
Your words. I'm gonna echo back what I'm hearing.
No, this is the lead clip.
I'm gonna echo back what I'm hearing. I'm a poet. I'm a singer. I'm a poet. I'm an artist. But I'm also a man.
Oh no.
That's what I'm
With
hearing.
needs.
That was in my sexual prime in Brooklyn in my 20s. Which is one of the lines from the show that I love. I wasted my sexual prime here.
It's so real.
It's absurd.
It's so
That's a very
real.
confessional moment in the special, I think, because it's like a thrown away ironic line, but like there is a sense under it that like, oh yeah, he probably feels that way a little bit.
Oh, it's literally how I feel when I walk onto the stage. I'm like, what did I do? I'm looking out, and I'm like, and I have fans, like people like me, and I like didn't have sex.
Gosh.
Like,
oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah,
you're still in your sexual prime.
Thank you.
You're a young guy. You're young looking, good looking guy.
Yeah, thank you.
But don't do that thing that you just did. That's not sort of codifying it. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
So
it's pushing people away.
So let's do it again. We'll do it again. So you're a sexy young man.
Thank you.
That's one of the things about. That's one of the things about when you and I were in that video together is.
Just want to get it on record.
You're just a deeply hilarious person. When you and Kate were working on your sketch show, which was nominated for an Emmy.
Oh. Thank
you. Did we get that? Did we get that?
We got it.
Okay. That must have felt good, right?
It was insane. It's so crazy. I can't believe it.
That special's a riot. But when you're working with Kate, like, do you break each other?
Yeah.
To a point where it's like, come on, we got to make our day. We got to get these things filmed.
And I'm worse about it than Kate. Like, she is really, like, it's part of her genius, or it's like part of what helps her keep going. I mean, she's just like, she's so committed, and it's so real. Yeah. And like, in order to achieve that level of realism, I feel like you have to fully do it. Whereas I'm like always on the edge of like laughing. So you're a poet. She's a genius. And then I can say that without any embarrassment. She's a genius.
She is.
But yeah, I laugh. I really have trouble. It's impossible with her.
What are you gonna do? Like? This wasn't one of our questions, but it's like, what are you gonna? I want to see more of shows like the special. Are you gonna tour with more of this?
Yes, I mean, that was the thing is like touring that show, and I wonder. I mean, you tour all the time,
yeah,
but like I really barely do it, and like I was like so maudlin after those shows. I would like go home and like call Kate or something, you know, and I would be like bursting into tears. I was like, this is like the most incredible experience I've ever had in my life. I was like, and I'm sure I'll lose that, you know, as you go on, but I really was like, this is heaven. If no one ever wants to put me in anything, like, again, like, I would be so happy doing this. This is like a dream. So I really would, and I feel like I figured something out with the music and the comedy and like integrating them more, and I want to keep going with that.
Yeah, because I think like I get that, because I feel like you're giving people a completely original performance that isn't. It's like how you felt about Bette Midler.
Thank you. That's the goal.
I think they are experiencing that.
I hope.
I think they're like, we just saw. Sometimes Jenny, my wife, will say this to me. She'll listen to the audio recording of like me doing shows in DC, and she'll go, you know, you shouldn't make so many jokes at your own expense that you're working out new material, because it is a special experience for the audience. So if you start to say that it might take a little bit away from the fact that you are giving it your heart.
Yeah.
They're jokes that the show that you're doing is unlike any other performance night ever again. And that, the couple hundred people in that room are the only people who will experience that.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I'm the same way though. I'm like, I have to let people know like it's messy or an improv process or something, you know, and like, but it's like when you see after show's over and you see someone and they're like, that was so great, and you're like, it wasn't, like last night was incredible.
Yes.
You're like, last night like was like the audience was insane, and it's like, fuck you, I bought tickets to your show. Totally. Yeah.
When you and Kate came to the Old Man in the Pool and came backstage, I was so moved by it, but I was also like, I was nervous that you're in the audience, because I'm just like, I have that thing of like, when people I admire in the audience, I think about it the whole time.
I know, I completely understand, and I don't know what anyone's supposed to do, because it's like you want people to come, and then you're like, great, now I'm
performing for this person who I admire so much.
That was so cool seeing you at Lincoln Center.
Oh, thanks. When you sing Britney in the special, you make the joke, you go, shout out any Britney song, and then you go, I heard album 3 track 3. Yeah, it's like such a joyous thing. And then you sing album 3 track 3. Britney, do you know the other songs? Do you know 10 Britney songs?
Yes, because she has 10 singles at least, you know. Like, I was never like an album Britney stan, but I was very into her as a phenomenon, you know, and so I was very, I subscribed to Entertainment Weekly. Yeah. Like, as a middle schooler, like that was my idea. I asked my parents. So I was like, again, this is the Tracy flick. I like knew the box office. I was like, Wild Wild West did not do well. Like, you know, I knew the letter score that they gave every movie. Oh my gosh.
Do people ever, when you were touring it, because obviously you got the rights to that Britney song. Yeah. When you were touring, did you ever do any of the other songs?
No, because we only prepared Overprotected.
Oh, you did?
Well, so with that band, we've done probably over the years like 8 Britney covers, you know, but none that we would be ready to just do on a moment's notice. We have to really rehearse. And like, so Overprotected was the choice. I had gotten the rights, and that was what we were going with. And the joke was just going to be, I will stand here until someone organically suggests Overprotected. So funny. And sometimes it really like it never happened quickly. So but sometimes it really just like would not happen. and I would have to like coerce it in other weird ways, like, which was always so fun once people understood what the joke was.
So we were in Taylor's video.
Yes.
You and I have this thing in common, which is not only were we in the video, we get asked about it, I think. Yeah. In every interview.
Well, in every family function now.
It's a lot, because we're a very small part,
truly,
of a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard for us.
It's been hard.
How did she know you? Did she know you from Search Party or like how? Or that,
yes.
Yeah. And then did she just text you?
Via Jack Antonoff.
Yeah.
Who I of course know through Jacqueline.
Yeah.
And you. But like, yeah, just got a text from Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Same.
Like, as I was like on my back after like a surgery, and I was like, this is crazy. And of course, like the responsible thing to do would have been to say no because of my back. But I was like, I have to do it.
This is how bizarre that shooting that video was. I texted you and I said, just like, hey, because that was, you know, I knew like it was a secret.
Right.
And I don't know who knew they were involved and who didn't.
Yes.
And so I
think I knew.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask anybody, because you don't want to bother these people who are all like major moguls. And so you just go, I'll show up on the day.
Yeah.
But I texted you like, hey, are you doing anything secret like July 19th or whatever it was? Yeah. And you're like, I might be, yes, you know. And it was just like very cryptic.
I know, it was so top secret. That was the coolest part about it, was like getting there and the call sheet said something different.
Yes.
You know, it was like for a different video, like
different
Taylor's
video.
version or something, even though it was actually the new single.
Yes.
And that was really cool.
I thought what was really cool on set was, because she directed it, was, first of all, the script was really funny. I thought.
I know.
Immediately I was like, oh, this is hilarious. And then second of all, I was like, she's really good at directing us and also the background actors.
I know.
Like just
and like so calm and
yeah,
breezy. It was like so nice.
I feel comfortable talking about it with you here because it's a thing that we share, but like I try to avoid it in like every interview because it could be cut up and decontextualized. And I'm just like,
Well, I didn't. Yeah, I've already experienced that where I like told a story on a podcast on Mike. No, sorry, your Mike.
Yes,
on
Mike
Moshe and Natasha's podcast, and where they were asking me about it, and I told this story, which I think is so funny, which is like where the joke. I'm trying to talk about my own just like deeply embarrassing moment where she was talking to me about like. I think because I asked her, I was like, "Are you releasing this as a single?" Like, I was like, "Is this the lead single?" I think is what I said. And she was like, "Well, you know, the music industry's changed a lot. They don't really do like lead singles anymore. They kind of like post like Beyonce dropping that album with all the videos at the same time. It's like kind of like you like do it all at once now, or you do a bunch of things at once, you know." And she's telling me this, and I found myself going, I was like, we gotta get back to that time. I was like, I missed that, and I meant it completely.
Of course,
I really was like, I miss, like I'm talking about the Britney, like the Entertainment Weekly of it all. Like I miss witnessing the narrative, the press narrative, the drama of here's the first single, first video, and then a few months later you get the next one. Like, and then it's sustained.
Yes,
you get like a year of like 4 videos. Yeah, and it's just so much easier to kind of take in instead of like everything at once, you know, whatever. So but I meant it, and I was like make this the first single. I was like, that's genius. And then I realized, I was like, I'm talking about the video that I'm in. Yeah, like it's so transparent. Like it looks like I'm just like, yeah, make this one the first single. Like because I'm in the video. Like and I was like, oh no. Like I felt so embarrassed afterward. I mean, she probably didn't think I was doing that, but I was like mortified. But then like I told this story, and this is what happened again, but I told this story on their podcast, and then because people are, this is what I didn't realize, is like it's like there's an army of people,
full-time job.
It's either actually their full-time job or it's fans who
they've decided
are unpaid.
It's unpaid full-time job,
and are just
full-timers,
like combing through everything that's said by anyone ever. Yeah. And they're looking for any mention of Taylor, and they're like, you know, and then there were literally multiple articles that are like, John Early convinces Taylor Swift to make Antihero her first single.
No way.
And I was like,
no way. It said John Early convinces her?
Yes, like as if it was John Early's idea.
What a nightmare.
And I was like, she's going to see that, or her press people are going to see that and be like, that asshole, like going around telling people it was my idea to make it the lead single, which it of course was not the point of the story. The point of the story is that I was like,
did you reach out and say, hey, just so you know this thing?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought it was best to stay out of.
So this is called the slow round. So do you have a nickname from your life that was really good or really bad?
Well, the good one is Beyonce, which is stop.
Yes.
No, you know. The bad one is one that in 6th grade I tried to tell everyone to call me Bo, because my middle name is Bowman. I'm sorry, that was in 6th grade? 6th grade, I was like, call me Bo. And not one person. It never caught on. So that was bad.
Call me Bo. Nothing.
It's just Bo.
Because it's your middle name?
Yeah.
B-E-A-U?
B-O.
B-O?
Yeah.
Jumbo early. Does anyone call
Jumbo.
it? Jumbo.
I love actually Johnny. I love when people call me Johnny. It's like, it's so sweet to me.
Can you think of a time where you were so scared you ran away?
Oh my God. Literally, yeah. I remember when I came out, or sort of, my friend, the first person I came out to was like my best friend in middle school, and she was like, I wasn't coming out to her. She was like, we were like talking, and I thought I was being coded. Like I was like, because I wasn't ready at all. I had no intention, and I was like, but I thought this was coded. So I was like, you know, when you've told someone something like your whole life, I was like, but then you realize that's not true. And she was like, yeah. and then I was like, but then you realize it's not true, and then you have to tell them, but you're worried because they think the original thing, and I literally was like, and she was like, yeah, and she was like, are you, and then I literally went like Roadrunner. I fully was like, and I ran
my God
to the bathroom, like at our school. We were at school, and I like ran, and I like closed myself in the bathroom, and then like I was like, oh my god, and she was like banging on the door, and then I finally like got it. I was like, la 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 la, and like called my parents to come pick me up, and I was like, la, 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 like,
oh my God.
And then they came and picked me up, and I like, and she was like laughing, was like, it's okay, but I like physically ran.
It's like what she was expecting you to say was something so short.
Yeah, totally.
So then after you ran away into the bathroom, eventually you probably came out.
A couple days later, I had to go back to school. You guys remember?
Yeah.
And it was just like, she was like, she was like, hi. It was like it had happened without me meaning to.
And then after that, did you come out to your parents?
Not for like 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
They knew, though. I mean, they knew. I knew that they knew it was hell. And I was like, but then I just like, I did a little, I guess I did it in person with my mom when she like visited me at college. But with such, I was like glaring as I did it. Because I like refused to make it a moment.
Glaring as I did it. I totally know what you mean of where you refuse somehow. There's something in you that's like, I'm not going to let you have this.
Like the Hallmark version. I'm not doing it.
Right. I'm not going to do the Hallmark version. I'm not going to let you have like a narrative in your head. Yes. And that's when John sat on the bed and he took my hand and he said, there's something I have to tell you.
No, I was like, truly.
And then what was her reaction? She
was really hilarious about it, really great. Like I'm very lucky, she was like, I was like, how I procrastinate? I'm like mad at her for no reason. She was like,
how I procrastinate?
I was like, how I procrastinate on like papers?
Oh my God.
And that's she was like, so funny. And I was like, well, I do it with like life stuff too.
Oh my God.
And she was like, yeah. And I was like, and no, and then she said something kind of genius, and I'll never remember, but it was like, does this have something? Oh no, it was like, does this have something to do with you answering the door to like my like uncle from West Virginia wearing your sister's communion dress, like first communion dress or something? And I was like, yes, it was genius.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
One of my first jokes in college when I started doing stand up was after a friend of mine, my best friend in college, came out to me and it was he said, I'm gay, and I said, I know. He said, I'm in the closet, and I go, yeah, but the closet has an NSYNC poster on it.
Literally did it.
I mean, it might as well. Yeah. I mean, it was just like it was long overdue.
That's really funny.
Yeah. The
baptismal gown.
I
just want to make sure I'm representing her work on this podcast.
Do you want to pick it up?
Nope.
No? Okay. Moving on. Did your life go the way you thought it would?
I mean, in some ways, yes. Like, I was hoping for the kind of like the Bette Midler thing. I want to be absolutely clear, and please leave this in, Mike. Sure. That like when I'm talking about Bette Midler, I am in no way compare. Like, I'm not trying to say like I have the voice, okay, or whatever, or the cultural impact. Some would argue it's impossible to even have that cultural impact anymore with the fracturing of media. But I did want to be like performing in New York. You're
saying you're a modern day Bette Midler. Yeah. Let me make sure I'm getting it right. You wrote me an email where you said, Mike, it's John.
There's no email.
I'm a modern day Bette Midler. Do you understand me? And if you don't, I'm not coming on the podcast. Sincerely, John Early. Why did you write that email?
I was scared.
I was scared.
But yeah, in that sense, yes, I wanted to be in New York doing shows,
so you sort of saw that for yourself.
Yeah.
Even when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Sex is real.
Sex is real.
Sex is something people do, and you can choose to do it or not to do it.
Sexually, no. Like, sexually, I thought that was gonna be really different. I thought my life would be very different. Like, I thought gayness would be really different.
Oh, interesting.
Like, I thought I thought romance and sex would be very different, and it's of course turned out to be its own surprising, often enjoyable thing. But
when you said often enjoyable, it
seems like never.
It seems like yours a hint of irony.
Yeah.
Often
was
enjoyable.
Was it because I looked directly at the camera?
Oh gosh.
But in terms of art and performance and stuff. Yeah.
Do you think you're more romantic than your partners?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
You're such a sincere person.
Yeah. I can be a little treacly or schmaltzy or and that's the Presbyterian in me. That's the
the Presbyterian in you? The Presbyterian. Yes. The Presbyterian Church has made a statement.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, they said we do not stand behind John Early or any of his statements about our church.
There's no printer. I don't understand what's happening.
But what do you mean by that? That's the Presbyterian.
Well, I think there's a kind of Protestant kind of
right,
oversimplified, maybe kind of
right. We're gonna do this the right way,
and I'm cooking, and
right.
And I think that's in me, and it makes me as a romantic partner probably a little insufferable.
Interesting.
And maybe sometimes enjoyable.
Like you want things just so.
Certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. And I don't like it. It's a life of pain. Being like that is you're signing up for a life of pain and just constant disappointment. And it's so unfair to your partner.
Yeah.
Because it's they're always they have to measure up to something they don't even know. They don't, you're you have some weird narrative about how a birthday should be, or or how a meal should go, or how meeting the parents should. It's and they don't share that
for sure,
and then they're always falling short.
It's funny because there was an article in the Times over the weekend about the things you should never say in an argument in a relationship.
Yeah.
And I was reading them, and I was some of them I was yeah, maybe a variation on that I've said, maybe I was pretty good on the quiz. And then the one that made me laugh was to never say I never said that.
Oh my God.
And I was oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of it nullifies what the person's concern is.
Yes, and it's legal.
That one spun me in circles though, because I was but what if you didn't say it?
Yeah, what do you say if you didn't say it?
It was the only one where I was yeah, but what if you didn't say it? And then the person
I'm sorry
says
you
said
felt
it.
like I said that.
I'm sorry you felt like I said that, though I didn't.
Yeah.
But then that's
Or
breaking
you
the
just,
rule.
having not said that, comma.
Having not said that,
yeah.
what's the best piece of advice anyone's given you in your life that you used? Or for that matter, like, were you ever at Tisch and like you had a professor who said something where you're like, I'll never I'll never forget that.
Yes, I had one teacher who was like, and I do think this is like, it's like, it was like a really straightforward physical note, which is why I was receptive to it, because it didn't feel like therapy, but I actually knew what she was saying was like very profound. And I was like, she was like, John, you're always like, your neck is like always like this, like you're like, your head is always up here. And she's like, you just have to let us see your face.
Yeah.
She was like, just like put your head down, like move your chin down. And it was like, and I was like, oh, and I was like, oh my God. And like when I did, I was like, I didn't cry, but I really did feel like, oh, I am very deliberately kind of not letting people look at me.
Wow.
And I do think, I do think that like, you just do have to let people look at you. You have to like let the camera like sit on your face and like let it like, you just that's like basically what it is. And that can be very hard. Yeah. And there's so much contemporary acting too. That's like the camera, because people are so used to the camera being on them now. Yeah. That's not like looking at a camera and like putting your image out there. There's nothing that no longer costs anything. Yeah. It's not scary for anyone. Yeah. But doing that without doing this. Yeah. Pursing your lips and like changing your voice a little bit so it's a little down here. Yeah. Like that. I'm like, so much acting today is this, and like I'm like pushing your voice down and like being, and like it's like, this is great, by the way. You gotta, what you're doing right now is what we want. We're gonna re-record. We're just gonna have you do whatever this character is. Thank you. Oh, we'd like an hour of this. I actually do want to do that. I really, really want to do that character. Oh but God. No one's giving it to us. No one's speaking or singing in their real voice anymore. It's an epidemic. Yeah. What do you think are people's favorite thing about you and least favorite thing about you? Favorite thing about me is probably like, I'm a good time. Oh my God. I'm funny, like I think I like to bring people together. I like to I'm a social person, I like to bring people together. I think least favorite thing is probably this exact thing we were talking about, of the kind of like romantic or like Presbyterian, the Presbyterian thing in me. That's like the sentimentality. Yes, that is in its way, as I've learned over the years. It's like, it is kind of coercive. Like that is what people don't like about sentimentality. It's not just a sentimentality itself. It's that it's like, it's like, feel this way with me. It's like, you should be up here with me. And it's like people are like, ugh, because I hate that. I hate when people do that to me. That's why I like was repulsed by like church, right. So anyway, you're making me realize in this very moment that I am guilty of that. And that's okay. I think a lot of performers are. This very rarely happens on the podcast. No, I mean almost never. Yeah. And what I'll say is, I love the thing people love most about you, and I love the thing people love least about you. Thank you. I appreciate it as your friend. I mean, we don't see each other all the time, but I feel close to you, and I feel like I appreciate both things about you. I've been with you. And I feel like I've witnessed both things, and I think they're both wonderful. That's very nice, Mike. I have compassion for it, because it's like, it is basically like the question we all grapple with, which is like, or choose not to grapple with, choose to like run away from, which is like, is life meaningless, or and do I create my own meaning, or is it happening to me? Like, right. And that's, I think sentimentality comes from a desire to like, for things to be meaningful and to not look at the void, and to format things into rituals and meaningful symbols, which can be so helpful for people. No, completely. And also suffocating for those closest to you.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna just tell you a couple bits I'm working on,
Okay.
and if you have thoughts on or memories or anything, if it strikes anything, and also feel free to throw in any if you're working on anything that's sort of half baked right now too.
Oh my God, I wish.
I wish. I tell like a long elaborate story about my daughter going to birthday parties and how essentially like when your child is 8, you go to birthday parties like 365 days a year, and you're just like she has 8 friends.
Yeah.
Like there's some kind of fraud going on here. I think some of these kids are claiming 20, 30 birthdays a year. And they're just, all these kids are just so excited.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's just so excited about being alive, except me. And I have to
so
drive. And you really want the driver to be excited about life. That's the other half-baked things I took. I took her to this birthday party at this place called Urban Air, which is hell. And I've gone before to Urban Air, and I was just like, I'm not going in again. So Jenny went in with Una, and I circled the block. I have a joke in my show right now, and I don't think it's ever going to work, but it makes me laugh. Good parents take their kids to birthday parties. Great parents circle the block.
To always be ready.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Circle the block. It's like one of those things that sometimes in my shows I'll go like, you might come see me in 6 months or a year. You go, that's funnier. That's better. And, a lot of times I'll also be like, that joke will not be in the show. But that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Like the circle of the block thing, just the metaphor doesn't complete.
I don't know. I think it does have its own internal poetry. That I'm always chasing after, as you know.
Speaking of which, like when you were directing Jacqueline, what do you think was the most helpful note you would give consistently in that show? Because I love that show so much.
I think just like, it was like all her, obviously. Like directing is a bold, name for me, for my title. But like, the thing that I just think was like always reminding her to like, to not forget, and this is just such a basic kind of theater thing, is like not forget that people aren't hearing this for the first time, because like
Yes.
she's has such a brilliant mind, and her arguments plural are so like dense and like intricate, and she was very focused, obviously, on the clarity of those arguments. And I was always like, well, part of the clarity can just be like, pretend like you're at dinner with me.
Yes.
And just talk to me across the table and like explain it to me how you would explain at dinner. And like, I would be like, like dumb, and so you would really slow it down, and like you'd be checking in with me to see if I'm getting it. And, so it was always like dinner, just like keep it at dinner, and that'll help lock you into a kind of relationship with the audience.
I love that. That's great advice. I feel like I've both given that advice and received that advice from my director, Seth Barish. I have to hear it.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's one of those things. No matter how many times you hear a piece of advice, if it's as good as the advice you're saying right now, and I actually would project that out to anyone who's listening to this, who's a comic or a solo performer. It's like, remind yourself every show, they have not heard the words.
Yeah.
They don't know the words.
Yeah.
It's an entirely new concept.
No, I know. It's crazy. And it makes it so much more fun.
Yeah.
And I think there's like something, I think Jacqueline and I relate, like we both are very kind of embarrassed by like the fundamental like premise of comedy sometimes, of like that you have, like the kind of the social contract is that you have to kind of say it as if you're saying it for the first time, and your eyes have to dart up to your memory, or like you pull words from, even though you know what the word is.
Yeah.
You still have to kind of perform like you're like kind of figuring it out. And like, it's, and there's something, I think we both are like, so like, ew. But then it's like, well, then what are you without that? Like without that device of like working through it for the first time, you're like, completely figured out, and like what you're like a performance artist who's like saying words, it's like it's so generous to be, it's so much more generous to pretend to be conversational and intimate with an audience than it is to do some sort of strange thing where it's already figured out, I don't know.
Where you're like presenting your thesis.
Yeah. Totally.
I brought you here today to convince you of one thing.
Yeah.
And then this is the other one is, so Jenny and I, for our daughter's 6th birthday, we asked her, we go, what would be like your favorite thing that we could do for your birthday? And she said, I want you and Mom to dress up like clowns.
That's so sweet.
So Jenny and I went to a costume shop. We got the full makeup. We got full outfits. We woke her up on her birthday. We said, happy birthday, Una. She started crying.
No.
And I think she still thought she was in a dream.
Yeah.
And we were just like, no, we just, no, it's us. And then we're just like, we're so sorry. What's wrong?
Yeah.
She goes, when I said you should dress up as clowns, I meant that I would walk you around town and people would laugh at you.
Oh.
And that's when I realized,
like sadistic little girl.
That's when I realized that she wanted to be my manager. She wanted to make 10% on top of 100%.
Well, this has to go in the show.
I love this. Jenny literally said the other day, because she was listening to the show, she goes like, it's almost like the title of the show should have something to do with clowns.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's something metaphoric about the way in which we try to please the people who we love. Mm-hmm. And in the process, the last thing we do is working out for a cause. Is there an organization you like to donate to? I will donate to them. I will link to them in the show notes and encourage others to donate as well.
I would like to choose.
Why the voice? Why the voice?
Because I just do want to let the audience in on my search for the actual name of this place. Which is
what search?
There was a search. We took a break to search the National Nurses United, the largest nurses union in the country. Okay, we all in 2016 got very charity pilled. It was very like, here's the thing that you can donate to, and I think giving to unions is a smart way to make sure your money is getting used directly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I will contribute to National Nurses United. I will link to them in the show notes. John Early, I never say this. I don't think I've ever said this. I feel like I have a lot of thinking to do. I think a lot of thinking and reflecting.
I'm honored.
It was a very deep conversation. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And I urge people to watch your special.
But I remember there was a blizzard one time in Denver. The buses stopped running, and my mom's bank job, even now thinking about the distance, it's a hell of a distance, and my mom had to walk home.
Yeah.
And my mom comes in, and you could tell she's kind of stressed out, like, oh, the buses aren't working. And I heard my mom crying. Yeah. Still hurts.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Yeah. Have this really extraordinary life story because you played serious D1 college basketball, Minnesota, Colorado State. You're a professional comic, which is very hard to do, to accomplish, to pull off. You work regularly at the biggest comedy club in the country, if not the world, Comedy Cellar. And you created a startup called BLAP that for Black-owned businesses, it's like, kind of like a Yelp or almost like an Amazon for Black-owned businesses. 3 different things that you're working at the highest level. And my question is, what do you use from each of them in the other on a day-to-day basis? What's the through line?
The through line is habits.
Habits. What do you mean by that?
I remember reading somewhere one time, and I do believe this is true, that if you wrote down what you do every day,
yeah,
even if I don't know who you are, whatever, the person was saying that they could almost predict your station in life.
Yeah, you are what you eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was no different when I was drinking. I was what I drank. And that, if I wrote down how many drinks I was having a day, you'd be like, this guy's probably headed to rehab.
Yeah, and you quit drinking years ago.
Yeah, so and I went and I was in rehab 3-4 times. But now, yeah, so I think it's habits. I think from basketball, I learned that it's just the day to day. It's not pretty. There's no big, and there are only.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, and
it's
there's
not
only
pretty.
It's
day
not
to day.
That's it. It's one brick at a time.
Yeah.
So I think that would probably be the through line. But I remember, like, I used to live in Fort Greene, so I would run to Fort Greene Park to the top of the hill, and from there you could see One World Trade being built.
No.
Now, I couldn't, each day I would run out there. I know they're building because I had Googled it. I'd done all this research, and they said that there was an army of people working on this building every day. From where I was standing in Fort Greene Park, you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And that kind of, to me, is the way that everything works.
Yeah.
The change is imperceptible.
Right. Now, One World Trade is gorgeous.
Yes.
Stunning.
And you can see it, every once in a while I could tell if I got to the top, I'd be like, oh, well, the crane was over there the other day.
Right.
So there was no window on that corner.
Yeah.
But that would happen maybe every 6 weeks I could see something.
Yeah.
But the difference is imperceptible. We get on stage every night. It's imperceptible.
Yeah.
The changes that we're making.
It's like growing plants in the garden.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
like growing shrubs.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, it's a little taller.
Yes, and then you look up and there's this tree there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's no different. I mean, the startup. I mean, Mike, you when we were riding back from Jersey, you said, "Hey, man, I believe in you. I want to help you out." But there was no app.
Right.
This is me. There was a
This
prototype
is Blap years ago.
Yeah, this is before there was
2020 or 2021.
Yes, and now here we are. Years later, we are 2,116 downloads away from 100,000 downloads.
Wow.
So, and 100,000 downloads puts us in the top 3% of all apps ever created.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What have your most challenging, both in comedy and with Blap, what have been your hardest days? What's your inner monologue in your hardest days?
My toughest days, I don't know. I think my toughest days are probably always with white gatekeepers.
Oh?
Yeah.
Am I that?
No, you're just the opposite. Yo, you know how when black people say, like, and people are wondering, what is an ally? You are the prototypical ally.
Aw.
Yeah. The guy who really is like, hey, man, I got some. First of all, I get what you're saying.
I get what you're up to. Yeah.
No, because some people, they're like, oh, man, yeah, I know the struggle with black people. But you really do
I
listen.
do say that every day, 5 times a day. It's true. Everybody knows.
5 times a day.
I know the struggle.
You're like power to
That's
the people.
my catchphrase.
Birbiglia, I know the struggle.
I know the struggle. Birbiglia, colon, I know the struggle. Can you imagine if that was the name of my special?
I know the
I would
struggle.
just be over. Immediately over.
You'd be totally over. But you really do, like I said, when we were talking about some of the conversations we had, we would have, that doesn't mean we agree on everything.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We don't agree on everything. But at least you were like, I do understand. I'm willing to acknowledge. Some people are just very dismissive. So I think that's it, man.
And you think it's a lot. Basically, what you run up against is typically white gatekeepers.
Oh, absolutely.
People in the tech world who are like, I don't see it.
Not that I don't see it. I didn't own any slaves. What if white people did this?
Oh, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that was my first investor meeting. Was that? I hate this.
Wait, where's the white?
Yes.
Whatever app?
Yes.
I don't know.
I hate Black Lives Matter. That's how he started the meeting.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. So those, I was
That
able
was
to.
that was which meeting? One of your first investor
That was
meetings?
my very first meeting.
Wow.
Yeah, for money. And I was like, oh man, is it gonna go like, Am
I hate Black Lives Matter?
That
what the person
he
said?
didn't say hi, nice to meet you.
What?
not hi, nice to meet you. The very first thing he said to me was, just so you know before we get started, I hate Black Lives Matter.
And of course you said I do too.
I know. Yeah, me too,
Yeah,
bro.
all lives matter. All lives matter.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's some of that. And then, of course, I'm constantly getting the, hey, I think this app is racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because what if they had white people? And, to which my response is always the same. It's like, Blap is a response to racism.
Yeah.
If there's anybody in the world that wishes that there was no Blap,
Yeah.
it's me.
Yeah.
I am a smart, funny, intelligent,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, what do
Black
you need,
guy.
What do you need this for?
If all things were equal, I'd already be rich.
Yeah.
If there's anybody that wishes that we didn't have to do this,
Yeah.
it's this guy, because I'd be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be in Bermuda.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be sitting here with your ass, Mike. That's for sure.
Just got downgraded. A second ago, I was an ally. Moments later, I wouldn't be here with your ass.
I wouldn't be sitting here with your ass, Mike. I'd be on a boat somewhere.
No, I think it's such a smart idea because it's so much of what we talk about with race in America is inherited wealth.
Yes, but see, this is what I'm talking about, Mike. But most people don't want it. Wouldn't? How many white people would ever say that?
I don't know.
Not very many.
I don't talk to white people. You know me. I don't talk to white people. Power to the people.
Power to the people, baby.
You've been working a little bit with Seth Barish, who's my director.
Oh.
You've been doing a solo show workshop.
Amazing dude.
Everyone tells me it's great.
It's great.
Well, yeah. I mean, your life story is completely fascinating. I'm curious, like, your first one was basketball, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that was your first kind of, what got you there to that level? Like, what got you, like, psychologically? I mean, like, what?
You know, I mean, I think that one's pretty easy. You know what? The name of my company's Thanks Ma.
Thanks, Ma. I love it.
Yeah. So I think it's all one big thank
think
you
it's
to
your mom?
my mother. Yeah.
I think about my mom like that all the time.
Yeah. I heard when I was younger.
Are we just a cliche though?
We are.
Like, because isn't that the thing though? Like that people are always just like suckers for it's my mom
I don't
who
think
did it
so.
all and our dad didn't do
I don't
anything.
think so. You know why I say that? Is because we were at my dad's funeral, right?
Yeah.
Me and my dad weren't that close. I remember my dad, right? We're sitting there at the funeral, and it's in a church.
Yeah.
And these old black women are cooking this soul food in the back, like they always do at, black funerals and black churches. And I remember my dad was sitting there, he's up there in the casket or whatever. And I remember getting quiet. And my brother was like, are you okay? What are you thinking about? And I remember I whispered to my brother, I was like, that food smells good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how close me and my dad were.
Yeah.
So and at that same funeral, my brother and my sister said, after the funeral was over, they come to me and they said, we had a talk, the two of us.
Yeah.
And we were like, if anything ever happens to Mom, we would come get you.
Yeah.
Meaning they're close to my mom, but they were like, but this guy
Yeah.
is a really, really, really would be tragically affected. So I don't think that my brother and my sister, I think they're close to my mom, but I think that I am a mama's boy like most people would be like, this guy is really, really. But I remember.
So what did your mom say to you that you feel like led to you having that kind of drive and focus?
I was home one day. The natural disaster in Denver used to be blizzards.
Mm-hmm.
Climate change, now it's fire.
Yes.
So there was a blizzard. I'm old enough that climate, I'm old enough to remember different climates.
You've done the cycle. You were around in the Ice Age.
Yeah, I was around in the Ice Age, bro. And I remember the buses stopped working one night. My mom used to have 3 jobs. So she had a day job, night job, weekend job. She worked in a bank during the day, but I remember there was a blizzard one time in Denver. The buses stopped running, and my mom's bank job, even now thinking about the distance, it's a hell of a distance. And my mom had to walk home.
Yeah.
And my mom comes in, and you could tell she's kind of stressed out, like, oh, the buses aren't working. And I heard my mom crying. Yeah. Still hurts.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Yeah.
That was the day I was like, I'm going to do something big. And then when I started playing ball, I played with a vengeance.
Wow.
And yeah,
I wouldn't want to be on the other end of that.
You probably wouldn't. You probably wouldn't. Yeah, I was a terror on the basketball court. But that day, like, my drive changed. But yeah, but I think that was it for me, man. And I never, somebody asked me recently, and she said, yeah, I'm having trouble with my kid and he's angry and whatever. And she said, I remember you telling me that you were angry at one point in time, you whatever. And she said, what changed that for you? And I said, I don't know that it's changed. I learned to channel the anger.
In other words, you're still angry about certain things. You're able to channel it into something positive.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I heard recently this, I thought, very wise thing that somebody said. They go, in a relationship, ask the person how they channel their anger or how their anger manifests. And if they say they don't have anger, get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Because you'll probably end up dead in the closet.
I think it's really smart. But how did you figure out? Let's say someone's listening to this, they have anger and they don't know how to channel it. Like, how do you figure out how to channel it?
You know what? I think I was blessed enough to have people around me, good people around me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my brother, my sister have been there during tough times. My high school coach, who's like my dad, you know what I mean? Coach Loman was like, hey, you can't be doing this. You can't be doing that. You gotta, take that energy and use it on the court. And then I started seeing the good that it could do, with the scholarships. And then, of course, I changed careers.
Yeah.
And then since I couldn't use that anger with basketball, it went into drinking.
Right.
You know what I mean? It found another outlet, the drinking and the drugging.
So you think drinking, the drinking came in between essentially basketball and comedy to fill a void?
In between, yes. Well, it came along with the comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, of
Right,
course,
you're working at clubs where they serve alcohol.
Where it's
the
open
access
bar.
is crazy.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was a rock star on the hood circuit before I, got onto the mainstream circuit.
So you're off. We see each other essentially at a bar. It's a wonderful restaurant as well. But
Yeah.
the Olive Tree all the time. Is it affect you seeing people drink?
No. My drinking, man, like oftentimes, it had different bouts, but no. When I feel the urge to drink is victories. Any victory that I have, there's almost what's the word that I'm looking for? I almost feel entitled. So I would be more in danger, not at an open bar or at some party where everybody's drinking and doing drugs. I would be more in danger when I check the iOS and the Android store and we've crossed over 100,000 downloads.
What a loser. You're a nerd. You've become such a nerd.
Yeah, that's right.
No, when I want to drink,
not at the
check the iOS.
Not at the strip club, but 100,000 downloads. My brain on that day, like in a couple days.
Like I need a treat.
Yes.
I need a cupcake.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I earned it.
No, trust me, man. I recently had acid reflux that I got diagnosed with. I've been taking stuff for it, and I had to change my whole diet. And the one thing that one time it kills me is when I want a treat.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm not really supposed to have like pizza and this and cake and whatever. And it's like, I don't mind on a day-to-day. But every once in a while, I'm like, I finished 9 shows in 7 days. I want a piece of pizza. Like, no.
Right.
And it hurts.
Yes. You know what the good news is, though? It only hurts for a couple hours.
That's true.
It goes away. Like
Yeah.
once it comes up and I don't do anything, it pretty quickly goes back down.
That's interesting. So you live with it every day.
Yeah, it is a day-to-day. Fortunately, I don't think about it most days. I'm not, it's not that I don't have something so big happening that I feel like I deserve a drink every day.
Yeah.
But there's sometimes that things bubble up that it's like, but it is you're arresting it one day at a time for sure.
It's interesting. One of my jokes right now that I'm working on is for someone who isn't in AA, I say one day at a time quite often. I'm thinking of starting to drink just so I can get something out of this thing.
Oh, that's bad.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
It's like, I think about that. I think about AA slogans all the time, and I've never been to AA.
Oh, man.
A lot of friends who've gone, and so I feel like I have a sense of it. But yeah, I mean, I think we're all living with some degree of that.
Yeah. And I mean, people have other people have lots of other issues, man.
Do you
know
talk
what I mean?
about alcoholism ever on stage?
Yeah, absolutely.
How's it received?
It's received probably better than anything
Oh, really?
that I talk about
Do you
on
think
stage.
that, because I know that you're developing like a one-person show or your special, like, do you think it'll be in there? Do you think it'll be in
Absolutely.
that? Yeah.
But I mean, it colored so much of my life also. I mean, at least the middle part, at least the comedy part.
Yeah.
But I mean, I told a story about a time that I was on stage, blackout drunk, still don't remember.
Oh, wow.
I'm on stage crying.
Really?
Yeah. And of course, like I said, I turned it into a joke, but I mean, so much of that, like it got really dark, but I got tons of DMs from people saying, hey, I think I have a problem. And I always encourage people, because I will say this also, the theme song, right? The song that's playing in your head the whole time when you're in the throes of
Yeah.
addiction. And I don't care where you are, what you're doing, whatever. We all have this in common, is that you feel like no one understands what I'm going through.
Yeah.
No one understands how terrible this
That is
situation.
so true.
Yeah. But yeah, my alcohol, I mean, some of those type of stories would absolutely, because I started telling like some more shallow stories. And a
Right.
friend of mine said, that's not going to help people. You really have to tell people the depths, the times that you were suicidal,
Yeah.
the times that you were crying on stage.
Yeah.
That will resonate with people, because that level of darkness, people are like, oh, me too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Not jokes about drinking out of kegs and
No, of
the superficial stuff that I was doing. But once I shine the light on the dark, people really, really, really responded.
Have you ever talked about your dad on stage?
No. I mean, other than,
You think it's too deep?
I don't think it's too deep. I just think that it's me making up some relationship that never really existed.
It's just that he wasn't around.
Even when he was dying at the end, so the last 2 years of his life, I was going up there to try to, hey,
Yeah.
let's chum it up, and I wanted to know about what he was like when he was younger, what him and my mom's relationship, and he just never opened up to me.
Was he in like a care home? Like
No,
home,
he stayed at home until he died.
Yeah?
Yeah, in his own home.
But
yeah.
he knew.
Oh yeah, because
sense
it
he was
was
gonna know.
it was the cancer was affecting his breathing, so he couldn't move around anymore, and then he had oxygen, and then he had to sleep with oxygen, and you know what I mean. Those last couple months, the trips to the hospital.
Yeah.
So absolutely, but I had made a concerted effort to go up there and say, "Let me do my." I don't want to be at his funeral saying I just was bitter to Anyone who knows me knows I'm a pretty happy guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't want to be bitter to the end, but he just never. He never ever, he still spoke to me like in one sentence, like one word answers kind of.
Yeah.
Like
What are you? It's like when you are bitter, which you're not bitter a lot. What gets you? What makes you jealous, annoyed?
I think like watching the country right now is in a great place for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
You know what I'm saying? The country is in a place. Like if you say to me, man, I think that if you are a felon, it's going to be more difficult to get a job, right? I'm from the hood. I'm from a gang banging, dope dealing drive-by. That's what it was when I was growing up, right? So a lot of my friends over the years, felonies.
If they're felons, they're probably gonna have a hard time getting a job.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could. You know what? That you can go back and forth, because some people will be like, well, some felons, but there's a debate there.
Yeah.
But what you don't get to do is say felony bad, no job, but 34 felonies still qualifies you for the best job on earth.
Yeah.
That to me is the thing that is just like, oh yeah, rape bad.
Yeah.
Rape, highest job that wasn't real. You know what I mean?
It's that old saying. It's like don't steal $1,000, steal $1 million. It's just the craziest thing.
It's so sad. And knowing that now my nephews and nieces have to also, it's almost like watching your nephews and nieces being like, oh yeah, that's right. You are black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You would think that by now those kids wouldn't have the same awareness that I did.
Right.
You know what I mean? My nephew was just laughing. Like, could you imagine if a black dude sat
Right.
there?
And your nephew's like a teenager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a teenager.
Yeah.
And even he gets it. Oh, I'm black. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do what these white dudes. There's no way in the world I could. Barack Obama sat there, or if me and my nephew's pretty big now, like if me and 1,000 black dudes ran up on some cops and beat them we'd be dead.
Yeah.
But the idea that even he understands that now is, so those days are a little tricky. You know what I mean? Where I'm not as upbeat.
Right. You feel the personal side.
Yeah, where
It's
it's like,
personal.
oh,
It's not just this abstract
right.
kind of this guy committed a bunch of crimes and he's running for president. It's like
leading
It's like if
Leading the race.
Yeah, if I did this, I wouldn't get a job
leading the
at
race.
Kroger.
Can you imagine if Barack had 34 felony counts?
No, I could not
Adjudicated rapist.
No, I could not imagine that.
His companies were found fraudulent, put out of business. His charity was put out of, you know what I mean?
No, any of this stuff.
Giuliani's now been disbarred. Can you imagine if Barack showed up with 8 or 9 guys that were convicted of felonies
It's interesting. I mean, it is
with
interesting
on his third baby mama?
Yeah.
If Barack showed up with some woman who barely spoke English, right?
Yeah. No,
it's
no.
a joke.
No, I know. It's fascinating.
And then the Supreme Court said after that, it's okay as long as you call it a party or whatever they called it.
Yeah.
Official duties is what they call it.
Yeah.
Official president, which means find a way to make it.
To say it.
Yes.
To say that that's what it is.
And
yeah.
we'll let it ride.
Woo.
So those days, you wake up and you see this in your face is like, damn, y'all just going to do it out in the open.
And that's the ad for Blap. That's why you got to support
Download
black-owned
Blap.
businesses. Download Blap to get to 100,000 downloads, and John's going to go drink some whiskey.
It'll be black-owned whiskey. Shout out to Uncle Nearest.
All right, this is the slow round. What are people's favorite and least favorite thing about you?
Making plans has got to be the least favorite thing. And again, my schedule, man, is literally Blap centric.
Yeah.
So I had plans. I was supposed to hang out with some friends actually later the other night in Denver.
Oh,
And I'm headed to the airport.
right.
And don't feel I feel nothing. Like it's not like I'm like, oh, sorry guys. I'm like, I think you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that this is more important. So yeah, making plans, man, is and I remember watching some startup founders at a fireside chat
Yeah.
at this tech summit that I went to out in Silicon Valley. And the host said, in one word, describe your early startup founder experience. And write it down, slide into the middle of the table. Turned it over. All of them lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is and I remember watching that like, well, I got a life. I'm a comedian. No, it's lonely. You know what I mean?
Really interesting.
Yeah, because I'm not a tech fan, so it's a constant learning curve. And you are really spending all of your waking hours. How do I improve this? There's never a day that it's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got to be better tomorrow than it was today. Just like, watching the building going up. There's
Yeah.
work going on at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that
You ever think about giving up?
No.
No.
I'm not a give up kind
It's
of
just not
guy.
it's not what you do.
I'm just not really cut from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not. That's not an option.
Yeah.
You know what makes it also easier for it not to be an option? And this is probably one of the things that people like about me is I've always said that, lots of people have initiative. I prefer people, or I would like to think of myself as someone who has initiative. So I think that is something that people would say that they do like about me. If John
Finitiative.
says he's going to do it, it's probably going to
Did
get
you
done.
invent finitiative?
I did.
I love that. I'm gonna use that. I have finitiative too.
You do. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it's tricky. Sometimes you have to know when to have finitiative, and then you have to know when to cut it off.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, nah, this isn't meant to be finished.
Yes. And there's some things, there's relationships, there's stuff like that, but Blap is never fallen into that You know what I mean? That this is a stay the course situation for sure.
One time when you were on this podcast, you were talking about that it's like an unusual skill, and yours was to find cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
What? What was the strangest drug situation you've ever witnessed on the road or at a club?
The strangest drug situation.
I've been doing a joke lately about how I'm such a straight-laced person, like in the way that people perceive me, is like I've never seen cocaine. And I'm like, I work in nightclubs. They're basically cocaine factories.
Oh,
and no one
yeah.
even thought I should view it.
Yeah.
It's like working at General Mills, and they're like, we shouldn't show them Cheerios.
Dude, I don't know. You know what's crazy though? I don't think it's as bad as it used to be. It seems like Gen Z's a little more straight laced.
I think that's true.
Right?
Statistically, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. The craziest drug situation. I think, man, maybe. I don't want to give away this guy's. You know what? I don't think he would mind. I'm in Boston.
Yeah.
One time, and this is the party version of me. So there's a show at the Comedy Connection downtown.
Yeah. Right
down the hallway is an after party.
Yeah.
Which was like gold, because now everybody just saw you. All the women, it get pretty interesting. And I leave, and it's me and these two girls. It was one of those nights.
I'm not familiar. Say more about that. Say it slowly.
So the promoter, he used to send a limo. So I'm outside in a limo with these two girls, right? We're drinking, we're whatever, frolicking, we're having a good time. And I said out loud, I said, you know what would go good with this? And they were like, what? And I was like, if we just had some ecstasy.
Oh my God.
I know. The limo partition comes down. And the driver opens up this box of Altoids.
This is crazy.
And reaches over the partition, Mike. We all grab an Altoid, and now we're high as a kite. And then he rolls the partition back up.
That's bananas.
Yes. And I rode around with them high as a kite, of course, for like the next 4 or 5 hours. But I'll never forget, because I didn't even know, you're not even thinking this guy's listening.
Right.
We're in the back of the car doing what we're doing. I said, yo, you know what would go good? I said, man, if we just had some ecstasy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I think that was probably one of the craziest drug stories, man.
I think that's the best answer we've had for that one.
We do pretty good with these story things, right? Mike, you drag good stories out of me, stuff that I've never talked about.
That should be on stage.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example of a story you should put on stage.
Yeah. I've never, ever told that story.
The visual. Yeah. That's nice. All right. I'll end the slow round on this, which is, do you remember a moment of pure joy in your life?
I remember the first time that I got a car. So my high school coach, like I said, who's like my dad, him and my cousins put some money up, get my first car.
Yeah.
I think it was like $500.
Yeah.
Right, a brown rabbit. Yeah. And I drove my mom to work.
Oh.
It's probably the best day of my life.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Drove her to the bank.
Yep. Drove her to the bank. Sat there and cried. I was crying so long that she probably got off work. I was probably still sitting there crying.
That's beautiful.
Like, hey, I can drive you home now.
And it was joy because you were able to be helpful to your mom.
Yeah.
From something that you earned.
Yeah. I learned, though, years and years ago that I know this is going to sound kind of cheesy, but if you ask me what my top 10 most joyous moments of them, none of them have much to do with me.
I feel like I witness this with you all the time. You're kind to everybody who we hang out with at the Comedy Cellar. Can you think of a specific moment of kindness you had with someone where you actually felt a deep connection with a stranger?
Yo, I was at they lock the ATMs now because people were sleeping in there.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I go in there, it's late, and there's this guy in there. It's freezing. It's freezing outside.
Yeah.
The guy says, hey, man, you got a couple dollars? No, I'm sorry, man. And my Uber dropped.
Yeah.
So now the next Uber's not coming for 10 minutes. And so me and this guy are sitting there talking. He's like, yeah, man, I'm trying to find a job, whatever. This hasn't worked out. I've been sleeping out in the streets. It's freezing out here. And then I started asking him, well, what was your last job, whatever. And we kind of bonded, right? I was like, this guy, you know, there's probably more to it, but in the moment, you know.
He's had some bad bounces.
He's had some bad bounces.
Relatable person.
Yeah, man.
Bounces, yeah.
Then he just starts bawling.
Oh.
Yeah, and he says, man, no one ever really listens to anything that I say. You know, thanks for listening. You know, and I was like, oh my God, man, you know, wasn't that big of a deal. You know, I didn't tell him my Uber dropped, but part of it was, hey man, I'm just waiting for this goddamn car. So I pulled like $300 out of the ATM, right? And I said, hey man, here's $20. You know, most of the time when you give people money, they don't really look down.
Right.
They just,
sure.
they say thank you, and I go outside and I get in the Uber. Yo man, this motherfucker. You see him looking around, right? He comes running out of the bank. I'm already in the car. He comes running out of the bank, and you see him looking around. He finally makes eye contact with me. He sees me in the back of the Uber, and he chases the Uber up 6th Avenue. Like, thank you, man.
Oh.
Thank you. Yeah, right? The guy driving the Uber said, yo, man, what the fuck did you do to that guy?
It's like the end of Trading Places.
Yeah, exactly, man. But that was... it was so good to see that dude's expression. You know, I try to give people a lot of times, man, when people ask me for money and I know they're going to be standing there, right? Until they get the $10 or the $7, whatever they need. I always try to give people sometimes, man, enough money that they can just be done.
Yeah.
You know, so that I wanted to give this guy enough money that because he was like, man, I could take $30 and I could get a room tonight. It's cold. So I picked $300. So I know you can get a room. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you don't have to stay in this damn ATM. He could just be done for the night. Right. We all know that feeling where you're like, I'm good.
Right.
I wanted him to have that feeling.
Right.
But I didn't know he was going to chase the goddamn car up the street to say thanks. I got a kick out of that.
You ever feel, I mean, you're such a big guy. It's like, do you ever feel intimidated on the subway? Because I feel intimidated on the subway, but I feel like you couldn't. You're so big.
Yeah. Let me let you know a little secret. Really big black guys are just as scared as little white guys.
I didn't say I was little. You just said I was little, and I really take umbrage at that. I think this is over. I think this podcast is over.
Part of never getting hit. Let you know a big black guy secret is to look like you ain't scared of shit. On the inside, we're little white men too.
Oh, that is so funny.
Sit there with your arms folded like you're going to slap the shit out of somebody. People will be like, you know what? I'm not going to try him. Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
Well, and you always have to be, I mean, it's the reality. You always have to be afraid of the cops.
Oh, yeah. That's something totally different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
Oh, yeah. It's a whole different
And that's
thing.
on the subway all the time now.
Yeah.
The cops are on the subway all the time.
But it's not, I mean, cops like in a confined space like that, it's probably not as scary as, the situations where I was having interactions with the cops all the time. Because if you're out west, man, you live in Denver or Dallas or, these places, Little Rock, Arkansas, they're just stopping you in your car.
Yeah. There's no one else around. It's you, the cop, the car.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, let me see your license. And at any point in time, they could say, I thought he was reaching for something.
Yeah.
So that's when it's dicey.
Well, I had a story recently that it's funny. I wasn't even going to think to tell you but then I was just like, we're talking about it now. And I don't know where exactly the comedy beats are in this story yet, but I feel like it's going to make its way on stage someday, which is I'm driving Jenny and Una to visit my parents in Rhode Island, and all of a sudden there's traffic. Holiday weekend, all of a sudden there's traffic. There's a merge. To not hit the guy in front of me, I go into the breakdown lane.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, there's a cop behind me. I'm back in the regular lane, but there's a cop behind me. And I'm thinking, he's not pulling me over. He's probably going to something else.
Right.
And so I pull to the left, and he comes up next to me. He's furious. And this has happened like a month ago. He pulls down his window.
And it's like pulling
goes,
over.
get on the right. It was like a 4-lane highway. I had to get way across traffic.
Yeah.
And I go over, and the guy just bawls me out in front of my wife and daughter. And he doesn't bring a ticket. He goes, I explained what happened. I go, I was trying to, get out of the harm's way and just be safe. And he goes, no, you were using the breakdown lane to pass people. No, I wasn't.
Right.
He goes, I have it on video. I go, you have me passing someone in the breakdown lane on video? I would doubt that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he got angrier and angrier. And that's when I realized cops hate white people too. But that's the only joke I have so far. But he gave me a summons. He didn't even give me a ticket. Gave me a summons for court in Rhode Island.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I said to him, I don't even live in Rhode Island. It's a summons. Can I do a ticket? No. Anyway, long story short, I'm driving home from Rhode Island. This is the first interaction my daughter's ever seen. I'm just very upset. She's 9, very upset seeing me balled up by this cop. We're driving back from Rhode Island like 2 days later, and we're in the drive-thru at McDonald's, and there's a cop car behind me, and I just get nervous. I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure I drive right, blah, blah, blah.
Welcome, brother.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah. 10 and 2. So that's right. Yeah.
And now you're an honorary black man.
But yeah, so I got a summons. I have a summons in my hand, basically.
Yeah.
So if he runs my plates,
Yeah.
he's gonna see I have a summons. So I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure I play this right.
Yeah.
I gotta do this real, go
Yeah.
to the right.
That's
right
how
speed.
we feel since we were 16.
Yeah, I have no sympathy for that, but no, I'm just kidding.
That's your problem.
No, but in my situation, no. So I'm driving. So I get back on the highway, and the cop pulls up behind me, and his light goes on, and I was almost on the verge of tears. I'm like, no, I'm going the right speed limit.
Right.
I'm doing it all right. I pull over. He walks up. He goes, you forgot your credit card at the McDonald's.
Oh.
He hands it to me. And I go, I don't think they do that for black people. So I thought maybe on stage, I could put that on stage. I don't know.
But yeah, that's the feeling that you have about cops your whole life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Your mom teach you that?
No, we just learned that from them stopping us all the
Right,
time.
right.
You know what I mean? Because you know what? We were, like when I say, people understand when I say we were poor. My mom didn't drive.
Yeah. No, I
We
get
didn't
it.
even have a car. So
No,
my
I
mom
get it.
wouldn't have known that
Yeah.
that's not something she'd have thought
Yeah.
of. But I mean, they were just stopping us for literally anything. Anything. We were constantly being stopped by the cops.
Yeah.
But yeah. And
These
then if you it only takes one wrong move for them to say,
Yeah.
Of
course.
Yeah. And, like when you said stuff that gets me down, like the Supreme Court decision is, if you're doing whatever they're calling it now, official whatever works.
White House business. Yeah.
But they're also trying to roll back, what you can do after a cop shoots you. A lot of that police reform they're trying to roll back. So, it's basically like if this guy shoots you and he says it's in the line of duty, you're just shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But think about this. Just stop and think about this. We watched, which is where BLAP came from. We watched George Floyd be choked in the street, right?
Yeah.
But stop and think about this. We watched a guy put a knee on this guy's neck until he died. The cop goes to court. Do you know that on the day prior to the verdict, they boarded up vendors or restaurateurs and people who had businesses in downtown Minneapolis, boarded up their businesses.
In advance.
Yeah. But just stop and think about that. We all, with our own 2 eyes, watched a man be killed in broad daylight, and they were so confident that he would go to jail that they were like,
Yeah.
that might not be enough.
Yeah.
We literally watched a modern day lynching, and people were still so confident
Yeah.
that what we saw was enough that they were like, let me board this shit up.
Yeah.
That still might not be enough.
Wow.
Yeah. So on those days, it's like, you know, you're not so I'm not as happy go lucky as normal. But the idea that these folks would board their shit up was like, hey, you might still get off.
Yeah.
Because if imagine if someone choked a white woman like that to death,
Yeah.
no one would have boarded their shit. It was like, motherfucker, going to jail.
Yeah.
You're going to jail.
Yeah.
But the idea that it was a black dude laying there, I better board my shit up.
This has been sponsored by Blap. Blap is the best app for supporting black-owned businesses in America. The last thing we do is working out for a cause. Is there an organization that you think does a good job, a nonprofit that you like to support, and we will contribute to them and link to them in the show notes?
I think the United Negro College Fund.
Okay, we will contribute to the United Negro College Fund, uncf.org. John Laster, you're a joy to talk to. I can't wait to see your next hour. I can't wait to see where Blap goes. And I'm just like thrilled to be your friend.
I'm thrilled to be your friend.